For practice exercise 4.20 numUnique, we need to write a method named numUnique. It's going to take three integers as a parameter and return a number of unique integers among the three. So we're going to have a public, we'll just make it static, it's returning an integer, and our name here is numUnique. We have three parameters, we have int n1, int n2, and also int n3. So this is what our method header is going to look like. We're going to code for three different scenarios when we need to return 3, when we need to return 2, and when we need to return 1. When we need to return 1, it's the simplest thing, it's if everything is equal to each other, because that means that we only have one thing that's unique. So we'll say if our n1 is equal to our n2, and our n1 is equal to our n3, we are going to be inside of here, and we're just going to return 1. So we can end this line, and we actually don't need these brackets or these braces, because when we have if or else statements, if we only have one line of code, it's going to execute just that line in our if, or else statements. So that if is done. The next thing that we're going to look at is if we have two that are the same. So we're going to say that, well, if our n1 is equal to our n2, or if our n2 is, or I'm sorry, if our n1 is equal to our n3, or if our n2 is equal to our n3, we are going to be inside of here. There is a difference between this and this, even though they're very similar. For this, everything has to be equal. So the n3 is covered with this and statement. If we substitute for the n1 to n3 in here, we have n3 is equal to n2. For this, it's a little bit different, and we have to write out all the different cases. And so inside of here, we would just return 2 because there would be two unique things. When we're done with this, we can come down here, and if we've done neither of these, we're just going to return 3. And to make it a little bit easier, since these are all kind of the same scope, we're going to put this in an if, else if, and lastly an else statement, where we are just going to return 3, and then we can end this function. If we click submit, we have passed 6 out of 7 tests. Oh, and that's because I meant to say that, I think I said it, but I don't know if I wrote it correctly, n1 is equal to n2, and 1 should not be equal to n2 again, because we already have this worked out right here. This should be n3, and then we have our n2 is equal to our n3. So once we fix that, we've submitted, passed 7 out of 7 tests, and that is the code for 4.20 numUnique.